Accounting for about 4% of all cancers in the U.S., head and neck cancers are relatively rare in public conversation, despite the uptick in new cases diagnosed each year. Today, we're continuing our coverage with a personal perspective. Joining us virtually is Michael King, Stage 4 cancer survivor and owner of King One Properties International. Michael, it's so wonderful to have you with us here. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So first, can you tell us what was your diagnosis?
I was actually first diagnosed back in 2013. I had operation where they cut out the right side of the base of my tongue, went through traditional radiation and chemotherapy. And then in November of that year, I was given a clean bill of health, and I thought I was scot-free. After that, in 2022, I started feeling a scratchiness in my throat, and I'm like going, that sounds familiar. And long story short, it did come back.
And that's fairly rare, right?
Very rare. Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. So when you were first diagnosed, were you initially diagnosed with stage 4?
I was, yes, ma'am. I sure was.
Okay. So can you take us back to when you were first diagnosed? I mean, I can't even imagine the overwhelming emotions that you had, but take us back to those early days on.
Back then, the doctor, who was my neighbor and a good friend of mine, he called me up and he said, Michael, you have squamous cell carcinoma of the tongue caused by HPV, which is very prevalent this day and time. And, a funny thing, and my attitude may be a little bit different than a lot of people. I had the doctor laughing on the phone before we hung up. And he's like going, oh my gosh, Michael, I've told thousands of people that, and I've never had this type of attitude. And I said, well, with my family's history in cancer, I certainly understand that attitude is everything. Yeah. So after that, I thought I was scot-free until 22.
And that is actually when you went and saw Dr. Terry Day, who we have spoken to just recently. Tell us about that experience you had with him.
I went down and met Dr. Day, super guy, unbelievable team I had heard. So went and saw him, and we did several tests, came back, did biopsies, did some blood tests, and came back that, yes, it's back. So I went for a second opinion, flew up to Sloan Kettering in New York, and met with the doctor up there. And she said, Dr. Day is very well known in the head and neck oncology, and you're in good hands. So I came back to our area, and a guy called me that's a friend of mine. He's a producer in LA. And I said, well, you know what, where are you going? He said, UCLA Medical. And I said, ask your doctor if she knows Dr. Day. She told him, she said, yes, Dr. Day and his team are rock stars. So between that, my faith and my family, I went in it with flying colors, knowing that I was going to be cured yet again.
And one thing I do want to ask you about is head and neck cancers often affect appearance, eating, speech. Did you have any of those challenges?
I certainly have. As a matter of fact, you can kind of hear somewhat of a little bit of a speech impediment with me talking. That's because Dr. Day and Dr. Jeffrey Holton, they replaced 25% of the base of my tongue. So I have a little bit of problems with swallowing. And then also I lost about 55 pounds of muscle mass. I used to be a lot bigger and trained a lot, but I've lost a lot of weight, but I'm getting back into it.
And like you said earlier, attitude is everything. And you have
100%. Yes,
you have an amazing outlook and an amazing attitude on life that a lot of people can take notes from. So I appreciate you being here with us today. King1properties.com is where you can go to learn more about Michael and more about his wonderful business. Michael, thank you so much for being here with us today, and congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
We're back in 2 minutes.